Good morning, Year 10s, and today we're going to look at Solving Equations Lesson 5. This is one of our last lessons on solving equations, and this one is when you have unknowns, i.e. x's or y's, on both sides of the equation. Okay, so write that title down into your book, please. Pause the video throughout and make notes as you're going along. Just imagine like you're in the classroom and you're taking notes every time I ask you to pause. And before we start today's lesson, I just wanted to go through with you what I set lesson 4 when you've got division. Lots of great answers came into me. In case you got stuck on this, I have fed back to all the people that have sent me the work, so you might want to skip this part and go straight to the lesson if you already corrected your work. Okay, so this first question here, the first thing we're going to do is take away 2 from both sides of the equation. So we will be left with x over 3 on the left hand side and 2 on the right hand side. The reason we take away 2 is that the plus 2 minus 2 are inverse functions and they will cancel each other out. Now, what do we do to both sides of the equation? We multiply both sides by 3. Multiplying by 3 and dividing by 3 will cancel out. So you're left with x equals 2 times 3, which is 6. Okay, you can quickly check that. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 add 2 is 4, so we know it's correct. Okay, the next one. The first thing we're going to do to both sides of the equation is add 1, so that these 2 cancel. So we must add 1 to the other side to keep the equation balanced. Remember, this equal sign makes it balance. Okay, so minus 1 plus 1 cancel each other out. So I'm just left with x over 2 on this side. 5 plus 2 is 6. Okay, what do we do to both sides of the equation? We will times by 2. So x will equal 12. You can check that. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 take away 1 is 5. So we know it works. Okay, here, because you're dividing the whole lot by 2, I might just put brackets there. The first thing we have to do to both sides is not take away 2, but to times by 2. Because this 2 and this 2 will cancel. Timesing by 2, dividing by 2 will cancel. So I'm left with x plus 2 on the left hand side. 4 times 2 is 8 on the right hand side. Now, the opposite of add 2 is now we take away 2 from both sides. These will cancel. So x equals 6. Let's see if that works. 6 add 2 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Correct. Okay, last one. Let's times both sides by 3. Times by 3. This 3 and this 3 will cancel. So I've got x minus 3 on the left hand side, 6 on the right hand side. Add 3 to both sides. That will cancel. So x equals 9. Quickly check. 9 take away 3 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So it works. Okay. So hopefully you've now corrected those. I'm just going to check the video is still on. And you can write down this first example while I'm just checking. Yep, we're all ready to go. Okay, so my work today is solve equations with unknowns on both sides. Okay, first example. Box add 2 equals box add 7. I can put anything at all inside these boxes, but whatever I put in will be exactly the same. Now imagine this is on a scales. The equals sign is the center of the scales and it's balanced, it's level. Whatever I do to the one side of the scale, I do the same to the other side of the scale. So what I could do, because I want to find out what the value of one box is, what weight, imagine putting something in here, a weight, to make these two sides of the scale balance. Well, I could take away this box, and for it to balance, I have to take away this box. Okay, So I'm going to write down now what I have on both sides of the equal sign when I take away one box from both sides. So what I will have, I'll have, if I take away this box and take away this box, I'll have box plus 2 equals 7. Okay, so now let's look at my scales. Okay, I can't take a box from both sides now because I've only got one box left on this side. So I can't take a box away from this side. But what can I do to both sides of this scale? Well, I could take away 2. I can take away 2 from this side and take away 2 from this side to leave me 5. So the value of my box will equal 5. So let's just check that. 5 add 5 add 2 is 12. Box 5 add 7 is 12. So these two are equal to each other. I've got 12, imagine 12 kilograms on both sides of my scales. Okay, let's have a go at this next example. You might think you can do this example on your own, which is great. You can have a go at doing this example and then see if you're right after I've gone through it. Okay, so again, we've got 3 boxes this side with some weights inside plus 4 kilograms equals 2 boxes plus 10 kilograms. So this side of the scales balances this side of the scales. They're exactly level, exactly balanced. Right, how many boxes can I take away from both sides? Well, this time I can take more than one away. I can take 2 from this side and 2 from this side. And if I take 2 from both sides, the scales will still be balanced. So let's take away this one and this one and this one and this one. So I've got box add 4 equals 10. Okay, now what can I do? Well, on each side of the scales, I can take away 4 kilograms from both sides. Take away 4 to leave me 6. So the weight inside my box is 6 kilograms. Okay, let's just double check that. I've got 6, 6, 6 and 4. So I've got 3 6s, 18 and 4. I've got 22 kilograms on this side. I hopefully got the same on this side. 6 add 6 add 10. 6 and 6 is 12, add 10 is 22 kilograms on the other side. So I am correct because both sides are equal. Right, now in maths, you don't have it as boxes. Okay, that's just to demonstrate what you do to solve when you've got unknowns on both sides. You will have it in terms, the boxes will be in terms of y's and x's. So what shall I do here? Well, I can see, imagine this is 2 boxes and this is 1 box. Well, I could take 1 box away from both sides, or in this case, 1 y away from both sides. So if I take away 1 y from this side, I'll have y plus 3. And if I take away 1 y from this side, I have 7. Now what can I do to both sides of the equation? So this, what I did here, I took away y from both sides of the equation. What can I do here? Well, I can take away 3 from both sides of the equation. Okay, so 3 take away 3 is nothing, so I'm just left with y. 7 take away 3 is 4. So here's my answer. Let's just double check that. So y is 4, 2 times y, 2 times 4 is 8. So I've got 8 plus 3 here, which is 11. And on this side, I've got 4 plus 7, which is 11. So both sides is 11, so I know I'm right. Okay, have a go at this one if you want to, or wait for me to explain it again. See, depending on how confident you are. Okay, so let's look at how you did with this one. So I've got 4 m's and 2 m's on both sides. So I can take away 2 m's from both sides of the equation. 4m take away 2m is 2m, but I still got my 1. 2m take away 2m is no m, but I still got my 5. M's and these m's are different to these numbers. Now what can I do to both sides of the equations? Well, I've got plus 1, so to get just m's on this side, I can take away 1 from both sides of the equation. So I've got 2m equals 4. Okay, what's the opposite of timesing by 2? Is to divide by 2. So I've got m equals 2. And there's my answer. Okay, let's just double check that. Make sure we're completely right. So if m is 2, 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. Here, if m is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 5 is 9. So they are equal. So we are correct. Okay, hopefully you've got at least one of these examples in your book like this, showing all your method. Excuse me. And this is how I would like you to show your method when you're giving me your work, not just the answers, please. Okay. So, before I give you your learning check, pause the video, have a go at these 3 questions, and I'm going to go through them once you've had a go. Okay, so pause at this point here, please, and have a go. Right, so let's look at the question 1. So, step 1, I'm going to take away m from both sides of the equation. You might prefer, like I did in the last video, to do your taking away m like this, okay, from both sides. 2m take away 1m is m. I've got m plus 3, they will cancel, is 7. Now what do I do to both sides? I take away 3 from both sides. So these will cancel. So I've got m equals 4. And you can check that. Okay, so what should I do with this one? I can take away 1y from both sides. Okay. So I'm going to take away y from here and take away y from here. 3y take away y is 2y. They will cancel, is 12. Now I can take away 4 from both sides. Plus 4 minus 4 will go to 0. So I'm just left with 2y equals 8. Now divide both sides by 2. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Y equals 4, and again you can check. Okay, last question. Just cover that up so it doesn't confuse you. Okay, I'm going to do it this way this time. You decide which method you prefer to show your working. Okay, now I'm going to take away 3 from both sides of the equation. 5p take away 3p is 2p equals just 10. 3p take away 3p cancel each other out. Now I'm going to take away 2 from both sides of the equation. So 2p equals 8. And now I'm going to divide both equations by 2. So p equals 4. So actually each answer is 4. That's a miracle. Didn't realise that. Okay, they won't always be 4 obviously. So there's your 3 answers. Right, so here's your learning check. This is what you do at home to send to me, please. So you've got 5 questions to do as compulsory work, setting each one out beautifully, please. There's no negative numbers here, okay? And the challenge, I've just set you 1 negative number, okay? Exactly the same method, just the opposite of taking away is adding. Okay. Thanks for listening. Look forward to your work.